What's going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing the Richmond Collingwood game that's happening today. Let's do it. Just before we do jump straight into it, of course, the nice idea is follow me on all my social media accounts popping up down below. If you are a new Swooper, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get notifications whenever I post videos. And if you are a returning Swooper, thank you so much for joining me. Also, if you didn't watch it already, I had a 1.5 hour Q&A session with Paula Curia answering all of your questions that you guys were asking and stuff like that. It'll be linked down below. It'll pop up somewhere around here, but I implore you to go watch it. The vice president of the club came on and was answering every single question that you guys were throwing at him, and I'm very, very appreciative of it. So, let's just get into this preview now. So, going into this game against Richmond, it's really crazy for both clubs, really, because Richmond are at the moment, as I'm recording this, sitting 12th on the ladder. They've lost 3 games in a row. Sure, we've lost 2 games in a row, but a win against Richmond today could just, 1, finish their season, and 2, end their dynasty that they've been creating. And, kudos to them, you have to say. 3 premierships in 4 years is incredible. But if we can put the last nail in their metaphorical coffin, how sweet would that be? Like, we're their bogey side for the last couple of years. Sure, no Cox to dominate, but we could end their dynasty. How sweet would that? If there's anything else to what we do this season, ending or put even when was the last time Richmond lost 3 games in a row? I can't recall. And then imagine they lose to us. That's 4 games in a row. Incredible. So a couple of weeks ago they lost to the Eagles by 4 points. Then got done by St Kilda by 40 points. That's when they only scored like 2 goals for the whole entire game. And then last week they lost to the Gold Coast Suns. So they're very gettable. They are very, very gettable. But then you look at us and we lost to Fremantle a couple of weeks ago. And then obviously that game against St Kilda where we woke up in the last quarter. But we've already talked about that. We're in a good position to knock them off. 110%. If we can bring that form that we brought into the last quarter, I know it was a fool's gold quarter, but there was still form coming into it and coming out of it as well. If we can bring that pressure and that run and that dare, we'll knock them off. We will knock Richmond off. So the last time we played Richmond, cast your minds all the way back to June last year, round 2. That was the football restart after the lockdown and the hiatus and stuff like that. 36 all. 36 all in that game. And it was drawn, and I remember that so clearly because there was such a big hype, especially after that round 1 win against the Doggies that we played so well against. And then, a couple of months off, and the first game back is a draw, and I remember being shattered. But then you look at the previous meetings before that, 26th of July 2019, Richmond do us in by 30 points. And then round 2 that same year, we beat them by 44 points. And then the game before that was the preliminary final. So it's a very roller coaster. Whenever we verse Richmond, will we get the Richmond that will just dominate us, or are we going to get that side where we are their bogey side and they're scared to play us? And I think at the moment, they're going to be scared to play us. Even though we're not setting the world alight. I get it. But I still think there are some games where we just turn it on, and I think that's going to be one of these games. I think a lot of this game is going to come down to the midfield. We know that Richmond have a good midfield, especially when Dusty is running through there, and then he's just as dangerous in the forward line. But Mabio Chol goes up against Brodie Grundy, and you would think that Darcy Cameron chops out Grundy as well at some point. If we can dominate that sort of ruck area, because Grundy and Cameron, are better than, no disrespect to Chol, but they are better than Chol. So if we can dominate and if we can shark our own balls, yes, we will go far. They will go far in winning that game. Pendlebury, Adams in the middle. You've got De Goey starting centre as well. So we've got a good core. It's just about getting our hands to it because we know Grundy is going to dominate. He could finish with, 45 hitouts or so. And it gives us the best opportunity to go. And we saw that last week in the last quarter where, we were winning it out of the centre. We were winning it out of clearances. Obviously, it was in that last quarter when St Kilda, turned it off a little bit. But still, we are a side that can do that. We just have to play with that dare. And, God, it can't be hard to read, Grundy's ruck work. You'd think by now. Jesus. Another key area that we'll be looking at is our forward line. So we drop Mason Cox. He comes out, who has been a thorn in Richmond's side for a number of years. We got Darcy Cameron down there. We know Brodie Grundy will float down there. Jordan De Goey is going to float down there. Mycheck, side bottom starting. Jamie Elliott, Josh Thomas, Trent Bianco. We've got a very good mix of our forwards. And without Bashir Hooley and without Nick Vlauston, that's two of their best half-backers. Vlauston's a half-back, right? They lack that run now. They lack that sort of speed. Obviously, they've got, they've still got Jaden Short and stuff like and Stack and stuff. They've still got a goodish defense, but this could be the weakest Tiger side that they've put out for years and years and years. We have to capitalise on Vlauston and Bashir Hooley not being in that backline. And instead of a speedy backline, they go to a mediocre sort of medium running backline, and we can use that to our advantage, especially with Trent Bianco, Jamie Elliott, Jordan De Goey. So I think our forwards are really going to turn it on today, this afternoon. Someone who I absolutely want to see shine tomorrow is Brody Mycheck. He's been having a couple of quiet weeks, been getting his hand on the ball a lot, but one, delivery has been shocking to him, so he's doing the best that he can in a shitty situation. But two, the accuracy on him. I think the other day, I can't remember who it was against. Maybe he kicked 2 goals 5 or 2 goals 4 or something. I think it might have been that Fremantle game. But when the ball does come in, I love Mycheck. He's one of my faves. So I think he's due for a big game, and I think without Cox in the team, Mycheck will have that big game against the Tigers today. Cox comes out of the team and Polter comes out of the team. Cox dropped because of form. Polter dropped not because of form, not because he's playing bad. Just young kid, young body, skinny kid. Give him a run in the twos. He looked a little bit gassed in the last couple of games. He's done so well, and he's going to be a freaking club great, right? But give him a run in the twos. Get it pumping a little bit more. You know what I mean? And give him a bit of a rest. Obviously we know that Josh Dacos comes out because he's hurt his finger. Coming in, Callum Brown, Ollie Henry, and Will Kelly. A little bit surprising after Jack Ginnivan had 7 goals in 2 games. I love the inclusion of Callum Brown. I've been a Callum Brown, not a hater, but I want to see him improve. I want to see the best version of Callum Brown that we can. And now he is dominating in the VFL in the middle where he should be. That's where he has to play. Robert Harvey, if you're watching this, well, that's where he has to play. Not as a half forward, not as a crumbing forward. Inject him into the middle. Sure, he might not do well, but if you're playing him in the position that he's going to play in, that's how he grows stronger. Not off a half forward, not off a wing or whatever. Straight into the midfield. Inject him into the midfield. Ollie Henry and Will Kelly, that's an interesting one because 2 talls, right? Okay, Ollie Henry, you can kind of put him in the forward pocket. Like, we've said it earlier, Jaden Stevenson sort of type. Will Kelly, I love. He's going to stay forward. Harvey's already talked about it previously, that he is going to be in the forward line. And Ollie Henry, if Ollie Henry and Will Kelly can play the next 7 games, just pinch hitting in the forward, or on together, whatever, it's going to do a lot of good for their confidence, 1, and 2, get heaps of games under their belt for that 2022 season. Prediction and big calls. I always do this. And I curse us. But I am feeling a good, decent Collingwood win by 27 points. And my big call is that Mycheck's going to kick 4 goals. Anyway, guys, this has been my quick preview of the game. Look, these previews and the reviews and stuff like that, or maybe not the reviews, the previews, work has been absolutely crazy. And I know I don't usually get them out on game day. I like to get them out a couple of days before. Got to definitely get them out a couple of days before next week's game, and they're just going to get better. Let me know what you want to see in the previews. Let me know what kind of time you like this to go for, what you want me to talk about, what you want me to show you, because I love it and I love your input and I love you all. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what I can do to improve, because I want to grow this channel like no other football channel. I want to, I want to be the Blue Broads. I want to be the Caden McDonald's. I want to be the Drews, card bands and all that sort of stuff. We'll get there. Just need your help. Let me know what I can do to make this better and get you just fired up for the freaking games. Yeah. All right. Like I said, watch that Paul Turia interview question and answer video. Absolutely amazing. Love him so much. Love this club so much. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Take family, take friends, take us. And until next time, double checkers. I'll see you later.
Ooh la la.